So welding I went. So far this part is stronger than the original metal on there. So I'm going to show you what I did. Just rough cut in the metal, welded it in the shock for the shock to start with. So here's where we're at. I compressed this here because I got a stitch here. Now this is rubber too, so you can't go too crazy because this is your mount. So you're gonna have to put one little stitch and be done. I'm letting this cool off because I don't need all this to melt. So I welded on the top here, straight across. Not the best of my welds, but it's very hard to weld with a lot of rust. But I did good. I did good enough. Weld down the seam, around the edges, and the back. Now there's going to be another piece on the back side that's going to weld in, so it won't have this hole here. And we'll cut this little piece out here and weld it on the bottom and around the edge. So this tower is connected to the actual coil tower. So you got some strength on the coil, which the coil, once we put another bracket behind it, that'll be the strength of the tower. And then I was able to get a small stitch here. There wasn't much metal on this side to go crazy with, so I just a little stitching. And to the back, the very back half, I just welded in there a little bit. But it's solid. It's definitely solid. It's strong now. So that's all that matters, strength. And it's got the support coming down this way, support coming down. These beads are not very strong. They're very thin metal they start with. So that's probably why they rotted. They should have made it a heavier metal, especially on a coil. And a shock being pounded up and down, should have been stronger. So this is the first step. And then when you're done with it all, when you're all done painting, this is what I use. Just rust reformer. It's like a primer paint. Same, it's a start, you know. It'll blend it all in. It'll look nice. And then I just take another can and then prime it black and then paint it black. And the 3 stages of the paint, the can stuff is fine for now. And then if you want to put a heavy enamel coat on the end when you're done, that's the best thing to do. But start with that Restore. Start this stuff. You get it at that famous place everybody goes to, the cheapest store ever. They call it, one of my friends calls it Hobo Song. Hobo Freighter Song? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Well, get that. That works pretty good. And then just any primer and then paint, so the paint will adhere. That stuff it'll slow down the best you can. After a while, you can only go so crazy. Remember, I'm trying to keep these things cheap, so go on Motorsport, Motor Speed 1984 if you want to look at any parts. Go on Marketplace. These are on Marketplace. This is going to take me a while because this is only one little project of welding. Then I got 2 frame parts I got to weld, but I just want to get it on the road. So once this is done, I'll drive it on the road. The little frame part is not going to matter to me. Then we'll work on the frame parts and we'll see how drivability it is, how drivable it is. I had to put a drive shaft in this one. 4-wheel drive works. Straight 6 5-speed. 5,500 best offer. So everybody comes for this one. They're like, oh, it's the cheapest one. It's $500 cheaper than one that's had it done. Go buy one that's done. Oh, well, I like that one because that one's 5-speed and it's not yellow. Okay, well, that's why I'm working on this one now. So everybody keep on watching. We'll go to stage 2. Once I do another piece, I gotta let that cool down, the rubber, and then I'm gonna keep on going. So I think what I'm gonna do is I gotta fabricate a piece of angle iron. I mean, fabrication, people are like, just weld it. Weld what? You gotta fabricate, you gotta think, you gotta make brackets, you gotta go like, yeah, just weld. Weld to what? There's nothing to weld to. You gotta make a bracket, and I'm using 1/4 inch steel. I'm using a strong, that's probably like 1/8 inch or thinner. That stuff is paper thin on these stock ones. That's why they rotted away. Just this side, the other side's good, thank God. So keep on watching, everybody. Here we go.